everybody. It is the 10th of September 2009 and we're looking at 6:30 a.m. right now. In about 30 minutes we're gonna get the Bank of England rate decision, and it is expected that the BOE will keep rates at the current level, which is 0.5%, and we do not think that there will be any surprises as far as the rate decision is concerned. We probably will get an unchanged verdict, because by analyzing the fundamental trend of the UK economy, there's really no compelling reason for a rate hike, especially with the outlook of its economy. And as far as cutting further, we're already looking at 0.5%, and to be cutting further, it just really doesn't give too much room, first of all, and second of all, you will be sending the wrong message to the market. So it's going to be extremely next to impossible for BOE to change the interest rate in this decision. So most likely, once again, we're going to get a unchanged verdict, most likely. So the market will probably be focusing more on the company statement. Usually BOE does not release any statement if they don't change the interest rate. However, they might be looking to increase their quantitative easing program. Last release, we had a surprise announcement of increasing the quantitative easing by another £50 billion. And that basically was the point where we saw about 1,000 pips of drop for the sterling against both dollar and Japanese yen. And during the last meeting minutes, which was released 2 weeks after the rate decision, they were debating between a 50 billion increase and a 75 billion increase of the asset purchasing facility, or their quantitative easing program. So it is possible that we might get another release in regards to the QE program, and if we're to increase once again, I think sterling will be under considerable pressure. Okay, if on the other hand there's no increase in the QE program, then we probably will see sterling getting a little bit of support based on just market sentiment, I think. So we'll be waiting for this number, and we'll see if we can go ahead and jump in on a trade. If the release is as expected with no surprises, could see some strength in the sterling. If the release end up with increasing another 25 billion of asset purchasing facilities, then we could see a weaker sterling. So in about 26 minutes we're going to get the release, and we'll trade this number live.
5%, as well as no change to the asset purchase target, which currently stands at £175 billion. Those asset purchases now are around 80% complete. It is worth noting that 3 members of the Monetary Policy Committee, including the Chairman, King, did dissent, seeking a bigger than eventuated increase of last month's decision. Yet some of the focus in the market has been on comments made by the Bank of England's King and the Treasury Select Committee, stating that the Bank of England was considering negative deposit rates.
Alright, you heard it. Less than 2 minutes.
Some buying of gilts across the curve is particularly good bidding in the short end. 2-year gilt yields 91.5 basis points, down just over 5 basis points. The UK yield curve just off its steepest levels of all time. This is the 2-year 10-year yield spread just below 280 basis points. Puts you down about 0.7%. Cable trading at 165.15, down about 30 pips. And then the rate decision should be out in just over 30 seconds time, and again the call will be unchanged, whatever the case may be.
So stand by, looking less than a minute now. Actually less than 30 seconds. Next 10 seconds I say we're gonna get the rate decision, so stand by.
10 seconds.
Seeing some widen of the spread right now. This is just normal.
Unchanged unchanged at 0.5% for the bank rate. Asset purchases unchanged at £175 billion. Again, unchanged across the board. In line with
Okay, across the board unchanged.
Asset purchases at £175 billion. The bank rate unchanged at 0.5%.
So we're not gonna do anything. As I said, if we get an unchanged, we're gonna see most likely strength in the sterling, and look at what we got. Strength in the sterling. This spike probably, if you jump in on a spike, you're gonna get wiped out. So stay away from jumping in the spike. We saw 153 on the pound yen. Just before the news, we saw from 152.30, it jumped about 60 pips, 58 pips. So if we can get the market to retrace back to the 30s, then on the pound yen, which is 30 pips from where we are right now, I'm going to be a little bit strict, because the fact that there's really no reason for that jump, except for just market feeling, yeah, okay, fine, it might even go below the pre-release level. So let's see, because the market's kind of optimistic right now with the sterling. So stand by. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and look for entry here. You can get in at 67 or 66.
Not only in China, there's also a Bank of China.
If you can get in at 67 or 66, seeing the market starts to stall a little bit around this area. So if you can get in around this area, and we will be out, I think, if the market goes below the pre-release, which is around 30. So we're going to be risk about 30 pips. It is still quite high, but given the fact that we could break above the 153, I think this will be a good area for an entry. So if you can get in around 60 or below 60, that will be a good entry. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and take some profit at this level. It's about 20 pips, 22 pips of profit right now on a 60 entry. Looking at the pound dollar breaking the 166, so just get ready to take profit as long as the market starts to turn. Okay, I'm looking at the 90 exit. 90, well, still going up, still going up. Okay, this is great as long as it's going up. Okay, I'm going to close right here. I'm seeing about 21 pips of profit. You can close a portion of it if you want, or you can close the whole thing. It's up to you. We're banking about close to 40 pips of profit on a 60 entry. I think 153 could be a psychological area, but it looks like we're breaking it clean, which is great. It's great for our trade. So right now we're out 153. Alright guys.